Shalom Yisrael. It's your brother Yashar Yehuda here again today, and the title of this particular video is The Unmovable Flat Earth. The Unmovable Flat Earth, again, is the title of this video today. Alright. So, we have been spoon-fed and force-fed a litany of lies by our Edomite slave masters who control virtually every aspect of influence we are exposed to, from preschool all the way up to postgraduate college. But 600 years ago, the Edomite Europeans all believed that the earth was indeed flat, and the center of the universe, which means that the earth was a geocentric model. All right, so it wasn't until scientists such as Galileo and Copernicus. So here's an image of Galileo, the white scientist who first proposed that the earth is a heliocentric model, which means that the sun is at the center of the universe. And this is also the other scientist named Copernicus. So these two Edomites, they proposed that the earth was not at the center, but it was the sun at the center. Before these two guys, the church, the Catholic Church, and all of the Edomite ruling power structure, they all believed that the earth was at the center of the universe. All right, so it was these two guys that began in the 16th century to sway the Edomite power structure's belief system to a heliocentric or sun-centered solar system. All right, so this is an image of the heliocentric model, which has the sun at the center of the universe or the solar system, and you can see the other planets revolving around the sun, which means that the sun is the preeminent or predominant force in this particular region of sphere of influence. All right. So again, we had Galileo. This is Galileo, and then we had Copernicus. Both of these men in the 16th century, they began to sway the public influence and the belief system to the heliocentric model. All right. And the church slowly began to accept this model, and then they began to force this unbiblical, wicked teaching upon its subjects, or the Catholic Church's subjects, which is the Edomites' conquered nations that they controlled and ruled and exerted their sphere of influence on. Okay. However, there are many scriptures which confirm Haaretz, or the earth, to be the center of the universe, which Ha-Kakab, or the stars, revolve around. Harishon, or the first scripture that I will begin with, is Tehillim, or Psalms 93 verse 1. All right, before I get that scripture, those particular two gentlemen, they also began to teach that the earth was a sphere as well. So they went from the earth being flat to the earth being a sphere. And it went from the earth being the center of the solar system and universe to the earth revolving around the sun, and the sun displacing the earth, and the sun being the center of the solar system and universe. All right, so when they get Psalms 93 and 1, some scriptures that will substantiate the Bible's position that the earth is the center of the solar system and universe, and that it does not move, it does not rotate, and does not revolve around the sun. All right, so this is Psalms 93 and 1, and the highlighted portion is the part that I want to bring out, and it says that the world also is established that it cannot be moved. So that's Psalms 93 and 1. All right, so the next verse is Psalms 96 and 10. And the highlighted portion again is what I want to bring out, and it says that the world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. All right, so right off the bat, we see with these two scriptures, these two particular verses, that the earth is stationary and unmoving. We see from scripture also in the book of John chapter 8 verse 17 and 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 1. I'll get that verse right now. So let's read 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 1, and it says, "This is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established." All right, so in essence, it's saying that you have to have 2 or 3 witnesses to establish each truth. So you can't just go off of one particular verse. You have to back it up. Scripture has to be supported by other scripture, and that is found in Isaiah 28 and 10, precept upon precept, line upon line, and also Psalms 119 and 104. All right, so we have to use scriptures to back up other scriptures to prove the truth of what scripture is trying to bring out. All right, so we read that verse in 2 Corinthians 2:13 and 1, where again it states that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word or every truth be established. All right, so let's get another witness that the earth is not spinning and not revolving around the sun, as Edomite scientists falsely assert and claim. All right, so the next scripture I want to get is 1 Chronicles chapter 16 verse 30. And it reads, "Fear before him all the earth, the world also shall be stable, that it be not moved." So again, we see 1 Chronicles reasserting that the earth is stable and that it does not move. All right, so next we also have the witness that the Most High, or Elohim's feet, rest upon the firmament that is that covers the earth. All right, so let's get a picture of the firmament. So this is a picture of the firmament and the flat earth, and it's showing you a picture of a footstool that's next to it, just giving you an idea of what the verse is saying. All right, so this particular verse is Isaiah 66 and verse 1. All right, let's read that verse right quick. And it reads, "Thus saith Yahuwah, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me? And where is the place of my rest?" All right, so this verse brings out the fact that the Most High is in the heavens. That is where his throne is. And it says the earth is his footstool. All right, so his feet rest upon the firmament that covers the earth. All right, so again, let's get a picture of that. All right, so the Most High would be right above at the top of this particular firmament. and his feet rest upon the firmament that covers the earth. So again, that's Isaiah 66, verse 1, establishing that the Most High's feet rest upon the firmament, or rest upon the earth. All right. So if the earth is in fact revolving around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, as Edomites falsely assert and falsely claim. Let's just get a picture of the mad scientists, the Edomites. All right, this is a picture of the earth that's moving around the sun at that crazy speed that they assert at 66,000 miles per hour. But the people on the earth, we can't perceive this vast, great speed that the earth is supposedly traveling around the sun. So not only is the earth traveling around the sun at this particular speed that they claim, but it's also spinning, supposedly spinning on its axis at 1,054 miles per hour. So the earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour and revolving around the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. All these things we don't perceive. We can't perceive with our five senses, or six senses that we have. All right. In order for this to be true, you have to imagine, or get this mental picture in your head, that the Most High, or Elohim, God Himself, is revolving around or circling around the sun and maintains a subservient position in the solar system to the sun and to the galaxy and the universe, in fact. All right, so you'd have to imagine that the Most High, whose feet is supposedly, it's not supposedly, but is, according to Scripture, resting upon the firmament that covers the earth. The Most High's feet is there. So you would have to imagine the Most High, whose feet is established and firm and not moving. You have to imagine Him moving around or revolving around the sun. So it just doesn't make sense. The Most High is the center, and everything is going to be revolving around Him and the earth. So the Most High is directly above us at the firmament. This is where His throne is. Scripture says in Isaiah 66:1 that His throne is in the heaven and His feet rest upon the earth, or the firmament. So you'd have to imagine the Most High rotating and revolving and spinning all around the sun, following after the sun that He created. You have to keep that in mind. So why would He be rotating or revolving and spinning around the sun that He made? All right, so it just doesn't add up. It's not making much sense. So we're going to get another scripture. All right, so the next scripture I want to get is in the book of Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 11. All right, so the highlighted part, it reads, "We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest." So again, we have another scripture that states that the earth is still and that it's not moving. It is at rest. So that's Zechariah 1 and 11. All right, so now I want to deal with some of the verses that assert that the earth has ends, which means that the earth would have to be flat and not spherical, again, as the mad Edomite scientists assert and claim, and they lie. All right, so the first scripture I want to get that backs that up, it brings that point out, is Isaiah 41 and 9. It says, "Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth." All right, so let's see. This is the picture of how they propose that the earth looks, the spherical globe. So how can a spherical globe have an end? There's no end on a spherical shape. So the scripture would have to be in error. And that would mean that God is a liar, and that Esau, the white man, the scientist that came up with these computer generated images, these CGI false pictures of the globe, he'd have to be the one that's the truth. But we know in John 8:44 it says that he's the father of lies. All right, so we can't believe everything that these Edomites are proposing and saying to us every day, even though that they indoctrinate us into these false beliefs, beginning at very young ages, preschool. All right, so there's no end on this particular image. This is the globe, and we've been force fed those lies. All right, so this would be the proper, more of a correct image of what the earth looks like. This is a flat earth. We have the sun and the moon and the stars all paying homage to the earth, and they revolve and they rotate around the earth. And on the edges of the earth there is the ice barrier, and the dome comes down around the edges of the earth. So that's the end of the earth, the ends of the earth. All right, so another scripture that brings out the fact about the ends of the earth is Isaiah 49:6. All right, so I'm going to read the highlighted portion, and it says, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. All right, so you can see how there would be an end of the earth if the earth looks like this. All right, but there cannot be an end of the earth if the earth has this spherical shape to it. There's no end. All right, so the next verse I want to get, which brings out the fact of the end of the earth, is in the New Testament. The Brit Kodash is Acts chapter 1, verse 8. And the highlighted portion again reads, and unto the uttermost part of the earth. All right, so the uttermost part means the ends of the earth. So this is in the New Testament, bringing out the fact that the earth has ends. Okay, and one of the last scriptures I want to get is Deuteronomy 33, verse 17. And the highlighted portion that brings out the fact of the end of the earth, and it reads, and he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. All right, so again, we see the fact that in the Old Testament, the Torah, in the book of Deuteronomy, it brings out the fact that the earth has ends. All right, so again, recapping, we learned that Galileo, the Edomite Galileo, and his counterpart Copernicus in the 16th century, they began to push the heliocentric or solar-centered theory that the sun is at the center of the solar system and universe. All right, and they did this because they wanted to take the Most High or God out of the equation. All right, and take the earth, take the spotlight of the primacy and the greatness of the earth out of the equation. So they wanted to direct attention toward the sun. So that was Galileo and Copernicus again in the 16th century. And they slowly began to sway the public, the ruling elites' belief systems of the church and the governments to a solar or helio or solar-centered system. And they were successful at that particular endeavor. And until this day, we hold that particular theory to be true. The ruling governments of the world, they hold that theory to be true, that the sun is at the center and the earth is, again, revolving around the sun at this crazy speed at 66,000 miles per hour. And it's also spinning, and the earth is supposedly tilted at 23 degrees and spinning on its axis at 1,054 miles an hour. Just crazy concepts that the Edomites have come up with. That's why I showed this picture of the mad Edomite scientist that proposes all this preposterous theories and postulates all these mad things, and people just eat it up. That's why I put that image of this being force fed and spoon fed these lies, for, since we were toddlers, and we're most susceptible to believe that. Over so many years of being force fed these lies, we get it from the radio, the television, the newspapers, magazines, just in school, at work, wherever we are, we just get fed these lies. And again, that verse in John 8:44 about Esau or Satan being the father of lies is so apropos or suitable for them, because they are just full of lies. Every other word they speak is a lie. So you have to be careful when you're listening to these people, because they have an agenda and they want to direct attention away from the Most High, away from the creation. But they want you to believe that everything just exploded into existence, and all of this order and this information just happened to occur and evolve without the need of a creator. All right, so this man is crazy. He's trying to take the glory away from the Most High. But all praise to the Most High. We thank him for wisdom and understanding, for bringing things that have been hidden, bringing those things out of the darkness into the light, for his chosen people, the Israelites, to receive this truth. So again, thank you for listening. And this particular video again was titled "The Flat Earth." The unmovable flat earth. All right, so shalom.